Subhas Chandra Bose was born on January 23, 1897. His birthplace was Cuttack in Odisha, which was then part of Bengal Presidency. His father was Janakinath Bose, a respected and successful lawyer. His mother was Prabhavati Devi, a woman of strong religious convictions. They were a large, affluent Bengali family, known for their standing in society. Subhas was the 9th child among 14 siblings in this bustling household. He grew up in an environment that valued discipline and Indian traditions. His family's background and values deeply shaped his early thoughts and character. He was instilled with a sense of purpose from a very young age. This upbringing prepared him for the extraordinary life he would later lead. Subhas received his early education at the Protestant European School in Cuttack. Later, he attended the Ravenshaw Collegiate School, also in Cuttack. He was a very bright student and showed great intellectual promise. For higher studies, he went to Presidency College in Calcutta, now Kolkata. From his student days, he felt a strong sense of patriotism. He was deeply influenced by the teachings of Swami Vivekananda. Vivekananda's ideas about national regeneration resonated with young Subhas. He also drew inspiration from the spiritual guidance of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. These spiritual and philosophical influences nurtured his nationalist feelings. He began to think seriously about India's place in the world. A significant event during his college life was the Oton incident in 1916. Professor E.F. Oton, a British professor at Presidency College, made racist remarks. He reportedly manhandled some Indian students, which caused outrage. Subhas was involved in the student protests against Professor Oton. As a result, he was expelled from Presidency College for indiscipline. This incident was an early sign of his rebellious spirit against British injustice. It showed his courage to stand up for dignity and against discrimination. He was later admitted to Scottish Church College, affiliated with the University of Calcutta. From there, he earned his Bachelor of Arts degree in philosophy in 1919. His commitment to challenging British authority was already becoming clear. In 1919, Subhas Chandra Bose travelled to England for further studies. He went primarily to fulfil his father's wish for him to join the civil service. He enrolled at Fitzwilliam College, University of Cambridge, to study moral sciences. He prepared for the difficult Indian Civil Services examination. In 1920, he achieved remarkable success in this examination. He secured the 4th position, a testament to his sharp intellect. This guaranteed him a comfortable and prestigious career within the British administration. However, despite this achievement, Subhas felt a deep inner conflict. The idea of serving the British colonial government troubled his conscience. Events like the Jallianwala Bagh massacre in April 1919 had profoundly disturbed him. The brutal Jallianwala Bagh massacre in Amritsar deeply shocked Subhas Bose. News of British atrocities against unarmed Indians intensified his desire for freedom. Nationalist feelings were growing stronger across India during this period. Subhas Bose decided he could not serve the British Empire. In April 1921, he took the bold step of resigning from the Indian Civil Service. He gave up a promising career of comfort, power, and prestige. He chose instead the difficult and uncertain path of the freedom struggle. This decision showed his unwavering commitment to his country's independence. He wrote to his elder brother Sarat Chandra Bose about his firm resolve. His sacrifice was an inspiration to many young Indians at the time. Subhas Chandra Bose returned to India in July 1921, landing in Bombay. Soon after his arrival, he sought a meeting with Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhi was by then the undisputed leader of the Indian nationalist movement. Gandhi advised Bose to go to Calcutta and work with Chittaranjan Das. Chittaranjan Das, popularly known as Deshbandhu, was a prominent nationalist leader in Bengal. Bose found in Das a political mentor and a source of inspiration. He immediately joined the Indian National Congress under Das's guidance. He actively participated in the non-cooperation movement launched by Gandhi. He dedicated himself fully to the cause of freeing India from British rule. His entry into politics marked a new phase in his life. Bose quickly became an active and influential figure in the Bengal Congress. Chittaranjan Das appointed him as the principal of the National College in Calcutta. He also took on the role of editor for nationalist newspapers. In 1924, when Das became the mayor of Calcutta Municipal Corporation, Bose was appointed its chief executive officer. In this administrative role, he demonstrated considerable efficiency and vision. He worked to improve civic services and promote nationalistic ideals. However, his rising prominence and nationalist activities worried the British authorities. In October 1924, he was arrested on suspicion of connections with secret revolutionary groups. He was deported without trial to Mandalay in Burma, now Myanmar. He spent more than 2.5 years in harsh prison conditions there. The long period of imprisonment in Mandalay severely affected Bose's health. However, it did not break his spirit or weaken his political resolve. If anything, the experience hardened his determination to fight for India's freedom. He was finally released from prison in 1927 due to his failing health. Upon his return, he was elected as the General Secretary of the Indian National Congress in 1927. He worked alongside Jawaharlal Nehru, representing the younger, more radical wing of the party. Bose consistently advocated for Purna Swaraj, or complete independence for India. He was not satisfied with the older leaders' demand for dominion status within the British Empire. This often led to ideological clashes with Mahatma Gandhi and other moderate Congress leaders. He also traveled to Europe during the late 1920s and 1930s, keenly observing international political developments. In February 1938, Subhas Chandra Bose reached a new height in his political career. He was unanimously elected as the President of the Indian National Congress at its Haripura session. This was a significant recognition of his leadership and growing popularity. In his presidential address, he outlined his clear vision for a free India. He spoke of a modern, industrialized nation built on socialist principles. He strongly emphasized the need for national planning and rapid industrial development. He also stressed the importance of maintaining national unity and a strong, disciplined party. During his presidency, he initiated the National Planning Committee. This period marked his strong influence on Congress policy and direction. He aimed to prepare India for freedom in a comprehensive manner. Despite his contributions, ideological differences with Mahatma Gandhi persisted and grew. Bose believed in a more assertive and confrontational approach towards the British. Gandhi, on the other hand, was firmly committed to non-violent methods. In March 1939, Bose decided to contest for a second term as Congress President at the Tripuri session. He was opposed by Pattabhi Sitaramaya, who was openly supported by Mahatma Gandhi. Bose won the election, demonstrating his strong support base within the party. However, this victory led to a major crisis within the Congress. Members of the Congress Working Committee who were loyal to Gandhi resigned in protest. Bose found it exceedingly difficult to form a new working committee and function effectively. Feeling constrained and undermined, he resigned from the Congress presidentship in April 1939. Following his resignation from the Congress presidency, Bose did not remain idle. In May 1939, he announced the formation of the Forward Bloc. This was established as an independent political party initially within the Congress. The primary aim of the Forward Bloc was to rally all radical left-wing and anti-imperialist elements. He wanted to create a united front for an immediate and uncompromising struggle against British rule. When World War II broke out in September 1939, Bose saw it as an opportunity. He believed Britain's difficulty was India's opportunity to strike for freedom. He advocated for a mass civil disobedience movement to force the British to leave. His strong anti-war stance led to his arrest and imprisonment by the British authorities. He was placed under house arrest in his Calcutta home in July 1940. The British authorities kept a close watch on Subhas Chandra Bose. However, he was determined to continue his fight for India's independence. He believed that India needed external help to overthrow British rule. In a daring and meticulously planned escape, he slipped out of his house arrest in January 1941. He disguised himself, first as a Muslim religious teacher, then by other means. His perilous journey took him through Afghanistan and the Soviet Union. He eventually reached Germany in April 1941, hoping to secure Axis support. He operated on the principle that my enemy's enemy is my friend. In Germany, he met with Nazi leaders, including Adolf Hitler, though their support was limited. He established the Free India Center in Berlin and started radio broadcasts to India. He also began to raise a small military unit, the Indische Legion, from Indian prisoners of war captured by German and Italian forces. Bose's efforts in Germany yielded some results, but he felt more could be achieved in Asia. He realized that Germany's primary focus was its war in Europe. He decided to travel to Southeast Asia, where Japan was fighting the Allied powers. In February 1943, he undertook a long and dangerous submarine journey. He traveled from Germany around Africa to Japanese-controlled Singapore, arriving in July 1943. There, he was welcomed by Indian nationalists and leaders of the Indian Independence League. He took over the leadership of the League from the veteran revolutionary Rash Behari Bose. More importantly, he revived and reorganized the Indian National Army, or Azad Hind Fauj. The INA was primarily composed of Indian prisoners of war captured by the Japanese and civilian volunteers from the Indian diaspora in Southeast Asia. He became its supreme commander and gave the stirring call, "Chalo Delhi," or "On to Delhi." He also formed the Provisional Government of Free India, Arzi Hukumat-e-Azad Hind, in October 1943. The Indian National Army, under Netaji's leadership, aimed to liberate India. Its motto was Ittifaq, Itamad, Kubani, meaning unity, faith, sacrifice. The INA fought alongside the Japanese army in its campaign against the British in Burma. In early 1944, the INA launched an offensive towards India, crossing the Burmese border. They reached Indian soil in Manipur and Nagaland, and participated in the historic battles of Imphal and Kohima. The INA soldiers fought with great courage and patriotism against formidable odds. However, they faced immense challenges: difficult jungle terrain, heavy monsoon rains, and severe lack of supplies. The Allied forces had superior air power and resources. Ultimately, the Imphal-Kohima offensive failed, and the INA had to retreat with heavy losses. Despite this military setback, the INA's actions inspired millions in India. It demonstrated remarkable communal harmony, with soldiers from all religions and regions fighting together. The war in Asia ended with Japan's surrender in August 1945. Following this, Netaji Subhas Chandra Bose reportedly embarked on a journey. It was said he was heading towards Manchuria, possibly to seek help from the Soviet Union. On August 18, 1945, news emerged that he had died in a plane crash. The alleged crash occurred in Taihoku, now Taipei, Taiwan, then under Japanese occupation. The news of his sudden death sent shockwaves across India and among his followers worldwide. Many found it difficult to accept, given his almost mythical status. The circumstances surrounding the reported crash remained unclear to many people. This lack of clarity sowed the seeds for future doubts and controversies. His death marked the end of a very dynamic chapter in India's freedom struggle. The reported death of Netaji Subhas Chandra Bose quickly became a subject of intense debate. Many of his ardent followers and even some family members refused to believe the plane crash story. Numerous theories and speculations about his survival began to circulate widely. Some believed he had faked his death to escape and continue his struggle. Others thought he might have reached the Soviet Union and was held captive there. Over the years, the government of India appointed several inquiry committees to investigate his disappearance. These included the Figes Committee in 1946, the Shahnawaz Committee in 1956, and the Khosla Commission from 1970 to 1974. Later, the Mukherjee Commission from 1999 to 2005 also investigated the matter. The findings of these committees were often contested and did not provide closure for everyone. The mystery surrounding his end remains a topic of discussion even today. Despite the controversies over his death, Netaji's impact on India's independence movement is undeniable. Although the Indian National Army's military campaign did not directly achieve India's freedom, its influence was profound. The trials of INA officers and soldiers held at the Red Fort in Delhi from 1945 to 1946 created a massive wave of nationalist sentiment. People across India, regardless of their political affiliations, were united in their support for the INA heroes. This widespread public outcry and the simmering discontent within the British Indian Armed Forces significantly pressured the British government. It became clear to the British that they could no longer rely on Indian soldiers to maintain their rule. Many historians believe that the INA episode was a crucial factor that hastened Britain's decision to grant independence to India. Netaji's actions had shaken the foundations of the British Empire in India. Netaji Subhas Chandra Bose remains an immortal and iconic figure in Indian history. He is deeply revered for his fierce and uncompromising patriotism, his immense courage, and his dynamic leadership. His famous call to his countrymen, "Give me blood and I shall give you freedom," continues to inspire generations. He championed a secular vision for India where people of all religions would be equal citizens. He advocated for social justice, women's empowerment, and a strong, united, and progressive nation. His efforts to seek international support for India's cause demonstrated his bold statesmanship. His legacy is one of relentless struggle and supreme sacrifice for the motherland. Statues, roads, and institutions across India are named in his honor. Netaji Subhas Chandra Bose's life story is a powerful reminder of the price of freedom and the spirit of revolution.